Okay, it's Thursday, April 17th, and let's start out with this, because this is the biggie that's going to be coming. May 15th is when the Supreme Court's going to hear arguments on Trump's plan to end birthright citizenship. This is not defending Trump. This is truth, but I agree with this, and we're going to see why here. But anyway, I know this is in the background now because of the shooting today, and I'm going to address that shooting too, especially because the shooter's mama is a police officer. But let's pause here. Under Trump's order, which is supposed to take effect due to take the February 19th, children born of parents in the United States illegal on temporary visas would not automatically become U.S. citizens, radically altering the interpretation of the Constitution. It would, for starters, it would not radically alter it; it would set it straight. And Trump is completely right down here. I think the case has been so misunderstood. That case, birthright citizenship is about slavery, he told reporters in the Oval Office. I'm going to show some screenshots from the 14th Amendment, Section 1 itself. When this started back in the 1800s, it was about when they freed the slaves and the slaves got citizenship. Then what happened? Our soldiers went to wars. They went and brought back girlfriends and brought back women to marry. So they automatically got U.S. citizenship, and it just continued on from there, and it completely warped and got fucked up into what it is now. Anybody can come over here and have a baby, and you get to stay and you get citizenship, and that is not what this was about. But obviously, our soldiers over the years, World War I, World War II, the ones that weren't named World Wars, married, brought back women to marry, so they automatically got their citizenship. So, they obviously took advantage of it, but let's pause here. Okay, this is the shorter version I'm going to show. The 14th Amendment, July 9th, 1868. Part of the Reconstruction Amendments, a series of constitutional changes passed in the aftermath of the Civil War. Then you get into the longer version explaining it. Yes, you can go read it yourself. And at the end there, Civil Rights Act in 1964, the Voters' Right Act of 65, and Congress required former Confederate states to ratify the 14th Amendment as condition of regaining federal representation, which mattered a big deal for them. And of course, granting citizenship to born or naturalized in the United States. Oh, and of course you get equal protection. So if all these people are being born here and get equal protection, why are they shipping them out? And the court's not saying or not doing like they're doing now. But what was it? Hang on, I brain farted. I was just going to say, I brought this up before. So we have all these illegals being shipped out. They're even CNN, the Dems that are supposed to be illegal immigrant, whatever you want to call them, loving people, and they are still not. They should be all these people have been getting shipped out, and not one fucking peep about. Oh my God, what about the families? What about the children they're leaving behind? Not one peep about that. I'm telling you, we're going to continue to see the Democrats, the right. What the fuck you call it? That side of that shit? The right? Is it the right? No, the left. Anyway, the Democrats, you're going to see their media is even morphing. Not morphing more. You're going to see them submitting more as this Trump dictatorship part of this gets more power, and you're going to continue to see that grow. But that's another thing about if the Supreme Court rules in Trump's favor. We're probably going to see videos from channels saying, oh my God, Supreme Court overruled on an amendment with the birthright citizenship. So, oh my God, next it's going to be the guns. They're never going to come after the guns. I've been through that over and over. They do not have the numbers with the guns to come take our numbers with the guns. As I've said before, it's a numbers game. Whenever we see a guy hold up in a house with a gun, how many cops are outside? 20 to 50, and they got to have their fucking armored vehicles and their SWAT teams. I mean, give me a fucking break. But anyway, let's pause here. Okay, this started sometime earlier this morning. At least two. It's past this. 2 were killed, 5 shot, I think. But anyway, the dude's 20. I guess he went to school there. His mama was a cop, including a resource officer at the Florida State University, and they already know that one of the guns he had was one of her guns. And we already know these they're not going to charge her worth nothing. Could she lose her job? Possibly, but I don't think so. But people are going to say, oh my God, why aren't they charging her? They did it to these other two families. Yes, they did it to the other two families, but they were extreme circumstances. And I remember, matter of fact, let's do these real quick. Oh, cat's acting up back here. But this guy is still going to court. Father shootings charge. This is the father. I guess Mama was gone. This is the one that just happened last year. Killed 4 people. They're charging Dad with 4 counts of murder or manslaughter. He's going to end up, if they convict him, he's going to get more time than these two that were actually convicted. They both got 10 to 15 years. Those were extreme cases. The channels came out, oh my God, they're going to do it to everybody. There's been shootings in between there, and they didn't even mention going after the parents. People don't get it. This isn't going to happen. Like I said before when I brought this up, when this happened, they charged and convicted this couple. How many times have we seen from those same channels saying, how come they do not hold the parents accountable for what their kids are doing when they do shit like that? Well, now you're getting it, so fucking shut up and quit bitching about it. And they want it both ways. Oh, it's just, as I've said, how many times over and over do we see it? All these fucking people, all of us, the truthers, the so-called patriots that see the New World Order agenda. We want the governments out of our business, the states out of our business. Keep your fucking laws out of our business. But what do we see from all these Trump lovers, MAGA lovers, even these truthers? Oh, I don't want no fucking law. Let every family live their life. Oh, but I want a law against them. I want a law against that guy. I want a law against her. Oh, they gotta go. They gotta go. Look at the fucking nonsense bullshit that comes from every last one of them people, again, without exception. But while I'm talking about that, one Richie from Boston screenshot. This is Richie's last video. Look at the title. First live stream in 5 years, instantly taken down. BT YouTube? By YouTube. Okay, I started listening. I wasn't going to listen to an hour and 21 minutes unless it really was interesting. Anyway, because I started watching, he's got his other fake Christian bullshit scam buddy, Manyfish, so I kept skipping forward like 10, 20 minutes. It's just him and Manyfish and their bullshit and their propaganda and their fear porn and love God, trust God, and send me money. But, okay, he's got Manyfish. And what is this title? First live stream in 5 years. It's all about him, and my YouTube video was taken down. Nothing about, oh my God, look at me and Manyfish talking about what God wants us to do. Fight the agenda. Nope. My video was taken down on YouTube. I mean, what an insult to fucking Manyfish, but they don't give a fuck. They're just about the money anyway. Let's pause here. Oh, this is hitting the news now. I'm talking, when I talk about on the mainstream news, I mean on TV, not shit that's in news articles. I did a video out this about a month ago. I don't know if I did my video after February 3rd or after March 12th, where they talked about, Trump could start shipping U.S. prisoners to that prison, in that CSOP prison in El Salvador. That's not going to happen. But could they do it? Yes, they could. But look at this. You'd have to take the most extreme offenders, lifers, people never getting out, maybe even those on death row, and you would have, just so you get less resistance, you would have to take people that do not ever get visits. You got to do that right away. And I don't know why they're not saying it this way, probably because it's not going to happen. But you would, to take them to that CSOP prison, you would not need to deport them. It would be a prison transfer to a cheaper prison. How do I know? Because that's been done in the U.S. by states. I tried to look it up because I was in state prison in Colorado when they shipped a bunch of us over to Missouri because they rented prison space in Missouri. So they sent, I think it was 500 of us to fill up some new prison they built in Missouri just to rent out. Yeah, but I was in I was in a good behavior. That's why, they didn't send the rioters and all that kind of shit. Yeah, they can do that. I mean, will it happen? More than likely not, but let's pause here. Okay, this is part of the cuts to Health and Human Services. They're getting rid. Oh, I forgot to fucking look it up again. They already got rid of 10,000, trying to get rid of another 10,000 from the HHS and NIH. And we all get there's bad shit in there, but people don't realize how much we do need some of that. But anyway, 30% budget cut. Where's it at? would eliminate programs and consolidate, yeah, down to nothing. Okay, public health, if this is correct, public health aimed at AIDS, HIV prevention would be gone. FDA would cease routine inspection at food facilities. Boy, that's really good for us, isn't it? Funding for chopping block include programs focused on autism, chronic disease, drug abuse, and mental health. Of course, our government doesn't give a flying. They don't. Look, they never have. Trump, Biden, Obama, Bush, none of the. How can we tell they never give a flying fuck about any of this stuff? Because they never do anything about it. It's the same old thing. It's the same old meme, but it's a true meme like we all know. Big Pharma does Big Pharma because they make money off of drugs. And nobody, not Big Pharma, not the governments, not state, local, anybody, makes any money off of mental health assistance and drug abuse counseling and drug abuse centers. And what do they call it when you go to get off drugs to clean up? I forget. But there's no money to be made there, so that ain't going to happen. So let's just keep getting rid of that shit. Okay, this finally hit the mainstream news again, i.e. on TV, because this is getting closer, going into effect May 7th, if they do not postpone it again. I brought this up recently here in Washington State. They call it an enhanced driver's license. And as it says here, this is the crackdown on illegal immigration. That's really what this is. And also, I believe nobody ever fucking says it to get rid of those that got fake IDs or whatever. I mean, fake driver's licenses. If you got a, okay, this is Washington State. This is to get a regular driver's license. The only difference I notice is here, resident citizenship documents, e.g. permanent resident card, and also it should say work card. There's another list that shows the work card, but that's what these are, resident citizenship. Now, the big difference, and the only one I see, proof of citizenship, birth certificate, U.S. passport, or certificate of naturalization. In other words, you've been made a citizen. That's the big difference. That's what they're doing here, and that's to weed out the bullshit, of course. But, I mean, because I'm so tired that when the real ID started to come out, and all our beloved Truther channel since way back then putting out all these videos. Oh my God, just like that article said on CNN, it's to track and trace us. It's not to track and trace us. They're trying to weed out the bullshit. But I get it. I mean, it's just fucking insane, but that's not the tracking. You don't need a fucking card to track and they use it all. I mean, we all carry our chip, like I told you that comic said. You know what your chip is? Your fucking phone you're carrying. We all take our fucking ID. We all take our RFID tracking chips everywhere we go. This is a biggie. This is a really biggie to see if he actually does tariffs on pharmaceuticals, because that's a big, big step, and that's really going to piss off people. But because more people buy big pharma drugs than they do cars. But what does he say here? And when they hear that, they'll leave China, other places they have to sell. They're going to come here. We're going to have plants opening all over the place in our country. What a fucking moron. Okay, let's just move on. I have to point this out again because I noticed a screenshot when I was deleting some. I brought this up before talking about Trump ended the collective bargaining rights, and i.e. the union for many federal workers, because this is going to go along with, like I said, if they ever do get these other start building these other auto factories and lumber factories and steel mills, you think they're going to allow unions and have to pay union fucking fees and wages and pensions and health? Fuck no. Like I say, why do you think the fucking people left? Oh, they always say, well, come on, it's because of the fucking union. Come on. Look at how we're all brainwashed, even our truther community. They don't want to go get how many of them truthers are going to go out there and get a job at McDonald's or Benny's or IHOP or a steel mill or a fucking the assembly plants we have now for the autos? None of them. They're making videos. They're making way too fucking much money on their truther channels, fear pouring in the propaganda of we're going to be in FEMA camps, gun confiscation, China's going to invade, the aliens are coming, Jesus is coming back, or the aliens are coming proposing as Jesus, or Jesus poses as an alien, or CERN's going to be opened up, or we're going to all be possessed, or the Mexicans are going to invade, or and this bullshit while they make their money. Come on, why don't they go out and get jobs and do videos on weekends? Getting fucking luck with that. They're making too much money to go work a fucking minimum wage or even $30 an hour. Why do you think they're doing the video? How can those people work full time, not be working at all, full time making videos, 1 or 2 a week, if that? Some of them do more. Every once in a while doing a video, and look at all the money they're making. Look, Richie from Boston allegedly doesn't have a house. He's got to be paying for that house in Boston, doesn't he? If it's owned, he's still got to pay property tax and electricity. All that traveling, buying vehicles, electric bikes, and the laptops, and all that survival. And so on and so forth, as that little punk would say. Oh, I saw this on the tube this morning, so I took a picture because Trumpy has revoked 1,000 plus visas for international students and graduates. So there was just over 1 million students foreign students enrolled in our colleges and universities. This was the last, what do they call it, school year. That's a lot. I didn't know there was that many, and you figure the money they're bringing in off of them. I looked it up, like Harvard, and then they don't do they do not do completely fully paid scholarships, but anyway, that was too much shit to try to get into, but apparently they don't fully pay a scholarship, except in extreme circumstances, but that's a lot of money to lose if they pulled on them visas. And again, I really believe this shit they're going after Harvard so hard. Obviously, they're using this. First it was, oh my God, the DEI, we got to go after it for that. Then they had to, then of course they got to do the anti-Semitism. It's just to get the control of everything. That's what the whole agenda is with Trump and the money and everything. It's lawfare, extreme. Matter of fact, I did a video a month or so ago. That dude made a comment that the Biden administration, when he was using lawfare against the Trump administration. I get it, the two agendas, the two factions, but Trump's taking a lawfare to a fucking extreme level, and it's gonna be a big deal on this birthright citizenship, and I believe that's why they're nailing Harvard so big, because you got Harvard and Yale and Cambridge, and I believe Harvard, and they actually get more money. Talk about the billions in endowments, like they said, Trump threatened to pull $9 billion. So Harvard resist, and they only withhold $2 billion, and they got like $50 billion in the bank or somewhere. It's fucking, it's just bullshit. It's real stuff, but it's bullshit. Harvard doesn't want to I can tell you right now, they don't want to give up full control, but they're going to bow down behind the scenes, and, this Trump lawfare agenda shit, it'll get its way. Watch. Let's pause here. Aren't we all just so glad as I've done all my videos over the years? When I'm talking about shit, I get right to the point. I don't spend a fucking 30 minutes or an hour on just one subject. I go through everything. Now, when I do a Rich thing on Richie from Boston, I'm addressing his whole video. It's not just one, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and try to spend 30 minutes or an hour just looking up shit and doing screenshots, showing videos about the same goddamn thing when you can run your mouth. I can run my mouth and say what I have to say in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, or 1 minute, and stretching things out for your ad sales sponsors and subscribers. Pause here. Oh, I went back through my screenshots. That's it for right now. I think so. So see you later. Bye.